All right. Hey,
All right.
Kyle.
Hey, Kyle. Jar got number 2. We just put up mission briefing. Good job, Jar Jar.
Was another one from set 1.
Right. And then, oh, this is a newer card. This is cool.
Ooh, that is pretty.
And I like the color in this one.
That pops.
I'm wondering how bad the delay is between.
Yeah, you have to give it a few minutes.
What are you seeing on your end? Do you see the card as soon as I switch to it?
On my end, I actually am not seeing that. Is there a screen that you have to share?
Yeah,
or
let me try to share it to you so you can talk about it quickly. Reckless Torrent.
That one was actually
the story of Reckless Torrent.
A card I did along with the few that I did for set 1, but then it was later revealed that they got the card title for that mixed up with something else. So Reckless Torrent actually didn't show up until set 3, which was the most recent set that was released back in November.
Hang on, I'm showing him the webcam. Okay. We'll just have to accept the delay.
Yeah.
I'll just move the cards earlier. So that was interesting.
No worries.
You said Reckless Torrent was originally done for set 1, and then they moved it to set 3?
Well, I was under the impression that it was part of set 1, but then the art director I was working with said there was a mix-up with the card titles, so the Reckless Torrent, I thought it was called Patrolling V-Wing, but then they said, oh, we got it mixed up, so the Reckless Torrent would show up in a later set. And then it turns out it didn't get released until set 3. So that was a really long wait to reveal that one.
So we heard that set 1, 2, and 3 were kind of done together as a design team. It's like one block, and then they separated the cards out over the 3 sets. So, Ryan got one. So this is Tandem Assault. So this is a lot of action in this. I mean, do you like doing the scenes like this with a lot more action kind of? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like an active looking card?
Which one are you looking at currently?
Oh, are you not on the YouTube?
So the ones like the bombing run.
No, this is
and then
I think this
Outflank.
Oh, is this Outflank or Tandem Assault?
Oh, it's probably Outflank with the ATST and the Rebel troops on Endor.
Okay, well, Jar Jar got another one then. Not Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. So you can't see the images, Kyle?
I'm not on the YouTube channel. Let me. You did send me the link.
There's somebody in the Discord.
Let me see if I can pop on there. Oh yes, now I'm looking. Now I'm looking at the YouTube.
Mute your YouTube though, because we'll get feedback again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Jar Jar is going to win because he has the best internet.
So, yeah.
So everybody go live. Make sure you're caught up on the YouTube to live. So, and then let's go to the next.
Yeah, one. This was a fun one I got to do for. I believe this was in set 2. Shadows of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now this one has less color. Let me know when you tell me when you can see the next image, Kyle, and we'll talk from there. George got Super Commando Squad. Yep. See how this doesn't have a lot of color variation. Is that you want to talk about that as a design choice on your part as the artist?
Yeah, so I try a lot of the times, or whenever I'm able to what's the word I'm looking for? Like trying to get the color tones of the entire scene. So the setting I was given was like a desert type of setting, so that's why there's a lot of warm tones and yellows involved.
Gotcha, makes sense.
Yeah,
love it.
All right.
And, as an artist, I'm always like, I look back at these older cards that I did over a year ago or 2 years ago. And, because I'm always like improving and getting better. So I look back at old work and I'm always thinking like, oh, I would have done this differently, that differently. But, at the time I only did as much as I could do. But, and then this was another one I enjoyed. Val from Solo.
Right. I actually like the Solo movies. I know some people don't like Solo, but I really enjoy Solo as a movie. But
likewise, yeah.
So George got another point. Anything you want to say about Val before I move on?
This one I really enjoyed because it kind of allowed me to play with the contrasting colors between the nighttime setting and then the warm tones coming from the fire in the foreground.
Sure.
I love that.
I always like when I do colors, anytime I'm able to kind of show that contrast between warm and cool tones, I always get really into it.
Yeah. All right. Well, keep rolling through your huge collection of art here. Yeah, there is a big dilemma. We're watching on Courtney's YouTube on the phone.
Yep. There's the one that was released in set 3, the Commando Droid.
Ah, yeah, you must have paused it, Courtney.
I must have, yeah.
So,
Yep, it's up.
Super Commando,
I love
Droid
this
Commando,
one.
Jar Jar got another one. Jar Jar and George are pretty much neck and neck, y'all. So everybody else needs to get faster.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. We want to know what internet y'all have so we can get it.
All right, now we're going to get into the most controversial. Okay, Kyle, do you actually get to play any Star Wars Unlimited? Have you ever played the game or got to play any?
I've actually never played it before,
Okay.
so I kind of don't really know the mechanics of
Okay.
what goes into the gameplay.
Yeah. Well, you actually have the most broken combo in the entire game is because of your artwork, I guess. This is
Oh man,
DJ.
good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Jason got this one ahead first, so I'm giving Jason a point. So DJ actually lets you steal your opponent's resources, and that's not fun to play.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then skipping ahead, you also did this guy who goes in tandem with DJ. So I'm waiting for it to show up on. Yep, Jason got it again. So you did both DJ and Tech. DJ
Yes.
and Tech are a combo in the game, like a very broken, abusive. I have someone who used to be my friend. His name is Ian, but he DJ teched me so many times. I'm not friends with him anymore. Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't know I was creating art for a deadly combination.
It's a very deadly
Of cards here.
combination. Yeah, it's really bad. But the art is beautiful, though, no doubt about it. Like
Yeah.
when you said
Thank
the
you.
high res, like the high res of DJ, I took a little sliver of DJ, just the face of the card, and used it as an emoji now on our server. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, these pieces are fantastic. And then yeah, so super happy with
Ooh, that's cool.
with the art.
I love this one.
yeah, we're a little bit
Thank
ahead,
you.
so
Yeah.
we kind of got to wait to while we're waiting, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button
That's right.
and turn on your notifications when we have cool Star Wars Unlimited content going live. So George got another one. This is Imprisoned, if you can see it.
Yep, that was another one from, I believe, Twilight of the Republic.
Yeah, this just came out in set 3. It's an interesting card mechanic that I don't know we ever fully explored. There may be some reason to sideboard this at some point. So, and then this is, I think, one of your most famous pieces, if I'm thinking about this correctly. Because you did art for leaders.
Well, so far only one leader, which was the Jango Fett leader showcase, I believe.
Okay. This must not be it then.
Oh no, this is the way.
All right.
That's right.
Great card.
And I
point to
absolutely
Jar Jar.
love the Mandalorian. He's one of my favorite Star Wars characters, so I was pretty giddy when I got to draw him in this one.
Okay.
Love it.
And so when we send you, we're sending you a gift pack, by the way, Kyle, of when we use your artwork on the T-shirts and stuff. We're also going to send you some Star Wars starter decks so you can learn to play
Oh, fantastic.
and play the game. with
Awesome.
us. Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah. Because you need to be playing Star
this
Wars
is cool
with us.
looking.
What part of the world are you in? Our team is so large. You probably have somebody who can meet up with you at a coffee shop and teach you how to play in person. What part of the world?
I'm currently in Pennsylvania at the moment.
Oh, all right, Ian, get to him.
That's right.
Ian, you have are you in voice chat still, Ian? I don't know. We definitely have some Philly people who can meet up with you to play Star Wars. And
Nice.
then Jason got another one. Jason got a point for Death Trooper. Good job, Jason.
Yeah, this was another one from set 1.
Love
Had
it.
a lot of fun working on this one because, again, from Rogue One, and Rogue One's my all-time favorite Star Wars film.
Here comes my favorite.
Here comes Courtney's favorite card in the whole game.
That's right.
Oh, which one is it?
Sabine.
Oh, don't tell him. Oh, Jason
Oh.
got it already. Yep,
We gotta know
Sabine.
that.
+1 for Jason.
Yeah, that was. I really enjoyed working on that one.
Yeah, tell us more, because this is obviously big for Courtney,
there's
because this is her entire channel is being Blonde Sabine.
And Blonde Sabine is
Yep,
already
so it's very fitting.
all about art, and stuff,
Yeah.
graffiti and that kind of
She does graffiti. She's an artist
Yeah.
herself, right?
Oh, no kidding! Awesome.
I mean, I meant the character of Sabine. Doesn't she do graffiti? Or am I making that up? I thought she did.
Yes, you're right about that. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Jonathan, for hanging out with us today. So tell us a little bit about this. Like, do you remember getting the assignment for this card? Because this is her leader art, right? Isn't this the leader art for Sabine?
This one wasn't a leader. This was an alternate, I believe.
It's beautiful.
There was a Sabine leader in set 1, but I didn't do the art on that. This was
okay.
just the alternate.
This was the art. For
It's similar
Sabine.
to it. It's very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what card does this appear on? I've
So
seen
there's-
this image a lot. I don't know. Someone in chat can tell us. The OP promo. Oh, this is the promo
Gotcha.
alternate art.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I love
Beautiful.
for the Sabine unit.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Sabine unit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
I should know that. I just ran 3 of them.
Yeah, you
this
should.
weekend. Yeah, in my deck. So I get it. This is the zoomed out. This is beautiful art, though. We're gonna have to.
I appreciate
we're
that.
gonna have
Thank
to
you.
get some prints done of some of
I
Kyle's
know.
stuff. Yeah, when we send you your
Mhm.
care package, you might get some cards to sign and send back. So FYI.
Oh, absolutely. I actually have done card signings before. People have mailed me a deck of cards or the ones that I've done, and then I sign them and mail them back. So
Oh,
absolutely open to doing that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Ooh, this is pretty.
Yeah, this has got a lot of action in it too.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you're using the light. George got it right, Cloud Rider. You're kind of like you create.
Oh my, this was
Yeah, tell us about it.
a complicated one.
Okay, tell us why.
The speeder bike was extremely tricky, especially from this angle. I usually like to draw things from a dynamic angle or perspective. It's just kind of what I've adopted. But yeah, this was definitely a challenge to draw.
Well, it turned out fantastic. Again, I love how
Thank you.
It feels like the art is like it's moving right at,
At
you.
you.
Like it's
Mhm.
the way
That's
you've done the.
beautiful.
I
And
don't know,
with
those little
Yeah, I kind of
streaks in
blurred out the background a little bit and added the motion speed lines in the background to really convey that it's moving very fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chat loves this artwork.
I do too.
By the way,
It's
Thank
so
you.
detailed,
Yeah.
too.
and I hate it when this card's played against me too. I'm like, oh no,
Right.
it's like Cloud Rider. You just ambushed my unit. So here's another set 3 card. Golly, this when you see the high res, like
Fantastic.
I gotta be honest, these high res images you've sent me look even better than the cards. Like
Yeah.
this is like,
Thank you.
yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but
It's phenomenal.
this is a lot even better.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that, the final image is printed on a small card, but
yeah,
Right.
I still go in and apply as much detail as possible. Yeah, I really went all out with the background on this one
Oh, you can tell.
for Coruscant card.
yeah. Jar Jar got it right. Yeah, the red and white and all that is just fantastic on these images.
Thank you.
Where did you find the?
And the red pops.
It's like what kind of references were you using to make the Coruscant guard? What did they? Do you remember what they sent you, or what you?
Yes, they sent me like 360 views of the clone trooper. Different shots from all sides, like front view, back view, 3/4 view. And then they also sent me background images, a bunch of different ones from like the lower levels of Coruscant for me to use as inspiration. And some of them they almost looked like original concept art pieces, probably from one of the shows or films. So that really helped me visualize how to turn this background into a different point of view for when I drew this scene. Because I believe the shot that I used here, it was kind of like, again, it was like a concept piece, but it was almost in like grid format from like a bird's eye perspective.
Right.
But there was enough detail there where I could take that concept piece and in my head visualize, how would it look from street level head on with the clone trooper running at us.
Well,
So
they did a fantastic
I'm always
job.
happy they send me such great references to use, so I'm able to really get all the nitty gritty details.
Yeah, it's just impressive how you work action. Like it feels like the thing is alive and moving. Coming right at
Thank you.
Yeah, it's super cool. The chat's really loving it too, from the red popping and the story you're telling about it. So yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, I love to use those the motion speed lines to just add that extra bit of zoom effect to show that something's moving or coming right at us.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so this one is, I think this one is the Falchion Ion Tank. Another point for Jar Jar.
Yep, indeed.
Yep. And Jason's right there too. I think we're going to have to give George, Jar Jar, and Jason
all one
gift bags.
That's right.
We have 3 winners coming up today. George, Jar Jar, and Jason are definitely winning the trivia contest. So yeah, Falchion Ion Tank. Anything you want to say about this cool looking card? What planet is that on? Do you know red background?
What's that?
Do you know what planet this is on? Like that red, purplish background?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but all I remember about when I was working on this card was, again, like the Cloud Rider, it was very tricky getting the vehicle looking correct. And it's always hard when you're drawing something like this from like a higher point of view and you're using like 2-point perspective like I did in this scene. Because you want to make sure that, you know, both sides of the vehicle are symmetrical, meaning, you know, there's a lot of angled sides to it and a lot of smaller parts. So the tricky part is getting everything to look symmetrical while still working with the perspective angle, so that way it's believable. And I just remember having to go back many, many times adjusting and readjusting the sketch. But eventually I finally got it. And then after that, it's just inking and then adding the color, which are the fun parts of it.
I was going to say, yeah, that aqua against that background color is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It really pops.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So good, dude.
So I appreciate it.
All right, one of his most popular arts coming up, right?
There's little delay though, so the audience can't see
coming
it.
Up.
Let's see who can get it right. In this one, you have to actually tell us more detail than just the card name to get the point here. Tell me when y'all can see it.
Hasn't shown up yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
There
yeah.
we go.
Maddie remembered correctly.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Jango Fett.
Yeah, this is the showcase for Jango.
Beautiful.
And actually, when I worked on this card, this was back still, I think, before the game had a working title. You know, back before Set 1 was released. And I actually didn't know this would be a leader. I thought it was just an alternate piece. But then when the final card was revealed last November, before Set 3's release, I was like, oh, no way, they used it as a leader? Because it actually worked out really well with the layout of the showcase leader card, especially on like the backside where it's in horizontal format.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's fantastic.
Gorgeous.
Thanks.
Do they send you the cards? Like, did they send you a showcase?
I haven't gotten any cards.
Okay.
Speaking of, actually recently I went to a local mall and they had a game shop, and I went inside. I was with my wife, and I told who turned out to be the shop owner that, I did some of the art on this game. Actually, I should say my wife hyped me up, and she said, "Oh, you know why he's buying these, right? You know why he's buying these, right? Because he did the art in this game." And the guy was actually nice enough to give me a few packs on the house, and I ended up pulling a few that I did from Twilight of the Republic, but unfortunately one of them was not the Jango Fett, because supposedly this is a rare one, so I imagine it's hard to pull.
I mean, what's the price on a Jango showcase? $300 right now?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think I saw on I forget the site, but I saw recently it was like almost $500 for this one or something, or $400.
It can be.
And I was like, whoa.
It's crazy.
It must be a pretty rare one then.
I agree with Sean. Yeah, seeing this, now that you mentioned the smoke trail and everything of the jetpacks, you see it so much more clearly.
In this high-res art, I never realized that was the fire spray on the landing platform, and I never saw the smoke trail. Yeah. I've seen the Jango showcase art before, but I've never like the detail. It's almost a shame. Like your art is even better than what it looks like on the card. When you see it this way.
Yeah, unfortunately, on the card they kind of have to crop a lot of it out to fit the the live art area, and then, you know, they crop whatever's in the bleed section.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, great work. We only have a few left here. Looks like
Thank you so much.
4 or 5 left.
Here comes another one.
Yeah. What are the FFG art directors like to work with?
They're fantastic. Like I said at the beginning, I feel like as an artist, I've grown so much through working on the work for this game, because they really take the time to work with you, and, you know, they don't hold back either. They tell you what needs to be adjusted or fixed or what can be improved upon. And over the years, I've taken all the little tidbits and notes that they've given me and applied them to the next piece, to the next piece. You know, I'm always improving and finding ways to figure out, oh, how can I level up from this last piece? And, or you know, I do it by sets. I think, how can I make this set better than the last set that I just did?
Yeah, it's crazy. Who's the art director you work with now, currently? Or is there more than one?
Currently, and I've been working with her for the last 2 or 3 years, Kate Soise. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. But at the beginning, when I was first brought on, I was working with Jeff Lee Johnson. Not sure if he's still with the game at all, but he was, at the time, one of the senior art directors.
Cool. So this is the Soldier of the 501st.
Mm-hmm. I love this one too.
Yeah, this was a fun one. I love drawing from a low perspective.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, you know, coming down, you know,
right.
just enough to have a little bit of a boost from the jetpack, just to lower down nice and gently.
Yeah, we actually gave this card away as a reward in our server when the 501st person joined our server.
Yep.
We gave a 500.
Oh, that's awesome! How fitting.
We're like 1,100 people now.
Yeah.
Growing. It's great. So, did you ever do any Iron Man art when you worked on Marvel? Because this has some Iron Man vibes to me.
So far I haven't done any work for like directly with Marvel, but I have done art for Atomic Mass Games and their Marvel Crisis Protocol game. And this was back in 2023. I did a card featuring Sam Wilson's Falcon and Iron Man together. So that was really only the official Iron Man art I've done for a Marvel product so far.
Okay. This is now one of my favorite pieces of art that
This
you've
one
done.
coming up?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Wait till it pops up on the screen. The next one coming up.
Next one. Okay.
Yeah. As soon as
there's still a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Because I have a card here I want to show on stream of this.
The Tranquility. Yeah.
Here, Courtney, go back to our face cam so I can show everybody my Tranquility. See this?
Oh, you got the card itself there. Nice.
It's hard to see all this little glare. Hold on. Get it zoomed in. No, it's...
Go down.
Wait, move. I gotta...
Actually, this was one that I did along with all the set 4 art, and I thought it would be released with set 4, but then it turns out it was released with set 3.
Yeah. What I'm pointing to is this is the prize I won by winning I won a big tournament this weekend. It has the champion stamped onto the Tranquility.
Oh, awesome. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Here, you can go back.
Yeah.
Go back to the camera. Let me ask him if he's ever worked on any.
Oh, okay.
Let me show you some more SWU art. Did you do any of these?
Oh, you've
pieces? Yeah, hold on.
No, I didn't do any of that stuff. I believe the artist who did that work, his name is David Buisan. Again, I hope I'm not butchering any last names here, but I believe he did the fantastic art for this one.
Yeah, this is the...
And I think that was a lot of the official promo art that you see all over the place for the 3rd set.
As a preview, we'll be talking about this champion playmat. We'll tell the story of this weekend after your interview today, if you want to stick around and hear about the Mobile PQ.
But yeah, we love that art. I like this one too that's coming up. This one's amazing.
Yeah, and this card is actually really good too in set 3. This is one of the better set 3 cards they did on design. Yeah, sorry, Ian. I had to flash my champion playmat and my champion Tranquility with the art Kyle did.
Get that signed by Kyle.
Yeah, hey Tata, we're moments away from the reveal. We've been going through all 20-something pieces of art that Kyle has done for FFG.
There's art too.
Yeah,
I was super excited to be able to draw the iconic droid.
Yeah.
And this was another piece that I thought would be in set 4, because I worked on it along with the set 4 pieces, but then it was shown in set 3, so I'm like, oh, okay. don't have to wait as long to share it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's great. So we're down to the
This one's amazing.
last piece before we do our reveal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. And let's see who got credit for R2. I'm going to give Jason Rod the trivia point there. We definitely have 3 people who are winning today. It looks like George, Jar Jar, and Jason won the trivia, naming the card in chat when it pops up on the screen. So,
or name that card trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this was the first one for set 4 that I did that's been revealed so far. As I said at the beginning, there's still 7 pieces that I'm waiting to share for set 4. Haven't been revealed yet, but I believe set 4 comes out March 14th, so sometime in the next month, I'm sure they'll be shown accordingly.
And Jason Rod got that one. Zagirian Starhopper. So
That's right.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's, once again, as we wrap up, let's give everybody KylePetchockArt.com. But you said you also have another online place you want people to go find you?
Yeah, that would be on Behance. It's kind of like an art community website, similar to like DeviantArt or ArtStation, but definitely want to go there because, yeah, my personal website is kind of outdated. I should probably get on updating that. But to see a lot of my recent stuff, I'm on Behance.com under Kyle Petchock.
Oh, and I'll post that link right now.
Yeah, and we also have a good
thanks.
question from chat. Would you ever attend any of the Star Wars events to sign art or be like cons we do?
Yeah, I would absolutely be open if the invitation were to come up. I would absolutely love to come to an event to do card signings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, we'll definitely let you know when something's close to you in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm only I'd say less than an hour drive from Philadelphia, so really not that far.
All right.
That's awesome.
Well, you can see everybody can see from the amazing art you do why we hired you to do our playmat. This is the event. If anyone's in chat or anyone watching isn't aware, we're doing a $10,000 guaranteed prize pool weekend. It's going to be March 28th, 29th, and 30th in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'll just put the information up here. There's not a lot of tickets left. The team event's already sold out, but there are a few tickets left for the individual events if anybody wants to join.
Kyle, if you happen to be in Atlanta, we're going to take a trip to Atlanta.
Yeah, we have to work, we have to work it out.
We
might have to fly Kyle down.
We may have to, I know.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know, and we can work something out, I'm sure.
Come sign some playmats with your... Yeah, fantastic.
Kels is a big fan of yours.
Yeah.
And so we have, this is our logo for the event.
One of our being teammates
Jasper, one of our, kind of on our support team here at Bothan Network. They did a great job with our logo. Kyle knows that this isn't, you can see the art for the playmat has a theme. The logo definitely looks like the playmat art you did. And we're only going to have, what's kind of cool, going to explain this, we're only going to have 25 of these playmats. And they're
nice.
serialized in the corner, 1 through 25. And this is how we're going to do the 25 playmats. If you finish in the top 16 of the $6,000 main event, you'll get mats serialized 1 through 16 based on where you finished in the top 16. The winning team of the $2,100 3v3 tournament, they'll get playmats 17, 18, and 19. We've now decided to add 3 playmats for the runner-up team. So playmats 20, 21, and 22 will go to the runner-up team. And we'll explain why Thursday, if any of you in chat want to come back for Thursday, we're doing the live reveal of the 32-team bracket. And we'll explain why we added the runner-up team. There's a reason why we're now giving away 6 exclusive playmats to the 3v3. And then the winner of the Sunday 2K we do, just the one winner of that tournament will get a playmat. We're going to thank our tournament organizer, Nick Frazier at Cards HQ, for all of his incredible hard work. Anyone who knows Nick loves Nick. He's put so much into making this event happen. So he needs a playmat. And then we're also going to do a silent auction throughout the weekend. At the merchandise table, you can come and bid on owning the 25 out of 25 serialized playmat. And all that money is going to go to a charity called Our House, and we'll have a special announcement more about Our House later for people who want to
fantastic.
Get Kyle's playmat on. It's going to be fantastic. All right, I guess there's no more beating around the bush about it. I'm just going to sit back and let people ooh and... Is anybody in Discord? Who's all in Discord? I want to hear some verbal reactions in Discord. when you see it, I want to hear the verbal reaction.
Should be coming up shortly.
Obviously,
There's the big reveal.
There's the big reveal, everybody.
That's right. It's beautiful. I love it.
I don't know how far behind we are on YouTube.
Hey!
Got it?
Still a bit of a delay on my end,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it'll pop up real soon.
There it is.
Wow.
Oh, got it.
Beautiful.
Yay.
This is so good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Kyle,
so insanely
It
good,
is
Kyle.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Amazing job.
yeah.
I appreciate it. Those X-Wings were that, let's just say it took longer than the whole rest of the playmat to just draw those X-Wings.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very tricky from a lower angle,
So cool.
but, you know, glad I nailed it.
You did nail
You
it.
nailed it.
Oh
yeah.
my god, dude.
Thank
You're
you.
worth every penny.
Yeah.
I feel like we underpaid you after seeing the art. We're like, we thought you were expensive, and now I'm like, oh my god, he's more than cheap for this quality. So yeah, just talk a little bit about. So on our team, and we were kind of coming up with a playmat idea.
Mhm.
I had been looking through a lot of images, and I saw someone else had artwork of like the Death Star rising above. It's probably the indoor moon. It kind of was above
Mhm.
the
It's like
tree
an outside
line. I think I
forest,
sent you a
yeah,
reference
maybe a
picture of
forest
it,
scene,
right?
yeah.
And
Yes,
thought
I
that
believe you
looked-
did.
I thought that looked so cool. And so then I was like, why don't we do that above the Atlanta skyline? Sent you all the reference stuff to do, and then just talk us through the creation of the playmat.
The coloring is
Yeah.
amazing.
Go ahead.
Thank
Talk me
you.
through it, what you did.
So my process is pretty much similar to what goes into creating a card for the game itself. So I sent you guys a really rough thumbnail sketch, just outlining my idea for it, and I really wanted to show the skyline from a bit of a lower angle. And if you see the buildings on the outside are tilting a little bit, they're not actually tilting per se. It's because the scene is from a shot of 3-point perspective. So it's just the angle that it's being shown from, and that way I could really show the ominous size of the Death Star rising above the skyline.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to get it from a really low angle like that,
Yeah.
while also being, of course, zoomed out to show the whole skyline, but at the same time, sort of like you're looking up at this massive Imperial weapon just rising up over the skyline, and then, you know, of course, adding the TIE fighters and the X-Wings kind of just tied it all together and filled that empty space in the sky on either side of it.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
And the colors are unbelievable.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, as I said, I love doing the colors. That's my favorite part of the process.
Yeah, the minute Frank showed us the image, everybody was just oohing and ahhing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I appreciate it.
Let's get some feedback from Discord chat. I know our team captain George the Hulk is in here. George, what do you think about this artwork?
I absolutely love the lighting of like the buildings and how it looks kind of like the sunset or sunrise, but it also has that natural glow. That really
you.
caught my eye. The lighting onto the actual ships themselves, on point. I love the Death Star has the iconic the lighting's from like the top right of frame, and like it has that cool like reflection of like. Yes, this is the lit side of the dark side of the whole reference is the moon, right? You know, like the whole dark side of the moon thing. So like it's cool you captured all of that in a way that looks natural.
Thank you.
Because we've seen versions that were didn't quite look so natural. So it's really cool how you balance it all.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then one of our famous YouTubers on our team is Ryan from Rebel Resource.
Okay.
As you mentioned, he got in touch with you first. So Ryan, you've seen the finished work now. What's your thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, Kyle, you've done an amazing job.
Thank you so much.
You know, going back about a year at my local game store, Star Wars Unlimited had just come out, and I was a part of a bunch of dads who got their whole families into the game. And I remember this 10-year-old kid opened up an OP pack and he got a foil Sabine, and he was so happy. And your art has made this game it's a part of the game. It's a part of what makes this game special. So to have you make a playmat for our tournament just means so much more to us. So I just want to say thank you. It looks great. And I'm excited to not only just make a playmat for our community, but it's by one of the most popular artists, or making some of the greatest art on some of the cards. So thank you so much.
I really
It looks
appreciate
great.
that. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to hear that.
Yeah, your art has an impact. Thank you.
No, thank you.
If these
Of course.
tournaments become an annual event, I'm sorry, but you're probably going to be stuck making our playmats every year going
That's right.
forward.
That's fine. I'm happy to do it. No more convincing needed.
So you enjoyed working on this project with us?
Yes, I did. Like I said, challenging in certain aspects. Like I said, drawing the X-wing and just getting the angle of the buildings and just getting the accuracy of the skyline down. And then, of course, the Death Star itself. A lot of detail in that as well. Doing all those little tiny pin lights on the outer hull of it was time consuming, but in the end, it's always worth the effort when you see it all come together. And I always, anytime I'm working through a piece, I always have some level of anxiety because initially I have an idea in my head of how I want it to look at the end, but it's in the middle of the process that I always sort of think, oh, is it gonna look like I want, or is it not gonna look like how I want? But then most of the time I wrap it up and I think, oh, it looks better than I pictured initially. So yeah, it was a fun project to work on.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of love in chat as being the best SWU artist. So
yeah, I love what Michael
congratulations.
said.
Much appreciated.
In chat, the sphere in Vegas should look like this for the Galactic Championship.
Oh, they should do that. That's right. They should do the Death Star on the sphere when we go to Vegas.
That's right. Yeah, that would be interesting.
We gotta work
I have
Yeah,
seen
we do.
photos and video of that sphere. It's pretty cool
Yeah.
how they just can project any image onto that thing.
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing some merchandise with this art. No playmats. The only way you can get the playmat is to win it over the board or
the charity.
bid money for the charity.
Yeah.
One person can get one from charity. But we are going to do kind of event T-shirts.
Yep.
It's going to be a cropped down version of this, but it will be your art. And on the back of the event T-shirt,
color,
kind of like a concert festival,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to list all the teams that came to the team competition and list all the content creators on the back of the T-shirt. So we're definitely going to be sending you that, Kyle. You'll be getting in the care package we sent you. We'll get you a T-shirt with your art on it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jason is suggesting we could do card sleeves.
Yeah.
But Courtney, tell us about some of the merchandise that. Here, how do I switch to the?
Live stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh yeah, I should have put up the merchandise swag bag. But yes, so we have swag bags coming that are going to be the nylon drawstring backpacks with the BIATL logo on it. We have sideboard cards that have the logos on them. We have special notebooks, life counter notebooks, which I'm really excited about.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then pens from the Bondswing channel.
Yeah,
We
a lot of
have
cool stuff.
tokens. One side's the BIATL with the Death Star, and the other side is the Bothan Network logo.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
And I'm trying to remember if
Yeah,
it feels like something else. It feels like I'm
we're
missing
doing.
something else.
Point is,
And then there's
we're
all
doing a
kinds
lot
of stuff
we're
in
doing
it.
a lot of merch for this event.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
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 Hey, was anybody able to find the miniature Bothan Network logo that I hid?
Oh, shh! Oh,
In
you
the-
ruined it. Shh. What are you talking about? Shh. That's a secret. We have.
There's
Oh.
an Easter egg in the
Never mind.
Okay, so what he's talking about, we do have a few Easter eggs hidden in the
At
artwork.
the tape.
That's right.
That was supposed to be a secret. Shh, Kyle.
I'm so sorry.
I can't wait.
I
I'm
thought
so
you were into.
sorry.
What happened to the NDA, Kyle? All right, you got to show us some Set 7 art now. You got to return the. You spoiled it.
I'm hoping.
You
I
violated
know, I
our
feel terrible.
NDA. So come on,
Oh,
we need
man,
to
I'm
see
so
some Set
sorry.
7 art. Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it in print.
yeah, I can't wait.
Can't wait.
But what he's
I'm
talking
excited
about,
to share all that.
There
Yeah.
are a couple of little Easter eggs in the art image that you can only see them when you see it live.
Yeah.
Such as your signatures in there. It's a signed piece. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that fun hiding your little signature in the art like?
Yeah, I always love to take my signature and sort of hide it somewhere in the final piece, where it fits. Because some places it's like, oh, that wouldn't look good there or there, but I always find the right place to hide my signature.
Yeah, it's cool. But you did such a great job,
Yeah,
Kyle.
fantastic.
Seriously,
Much
dude.
appreciated again. Thank
As we
you.
wrap up our interview with you today, man, I just want to thank you so much for making our event. It's going to be so much better with your art
With your
in it.
art, yeah. I
and
mean,
the
you.
work
So
you
happy
put
to hear
into
it.
Yep.
And deep thanks for all the effort and love you put into your art that's made our card game we love so much better because of
I
you.
appreciate it.
I'm going to have to go out and buy a Jango showcase now. I'm going to bite the bullet, spend the money.
I hope I pull one at some point, but again, it's a rare, so that's probably going to be pretty tricky.
Yeah, it's
That's awesome.
I think, what is it? You have to open like 12 boxes of cards, 25 packs or something.
A showcase.
There's a
Oh
lot
my, wow.
Just to find one of the showcases,
Yeah.
and there's 18 showcases per set, so
Yeah.
it's pretty rare to find the Jango showcase card.
hmm
Definitely. But man, we're so happy for you.
Couldn't
So
be
happy we're
happier.
collaborating with you.
Thank
on
you.
this.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah,
be
likewise. Again, you guys were great to work with on this project. Everything went super smoothly. So again, thank you for the opportunity to work on this.
Oh man, thank you, and thank you for all your time you spent doing it and doing it.
Of course.
on Notice. It was fantastic. It's beautiful.
Thanks, Kyle. Yay!
So,
Appreciate
yep,
you.
of course. I'll be sure to share the playmat on my social media pages
Yes.
as well.
It's-
Now that it's been revealed.
It's been revealed. You can share it all you want to. It's your work.
Yeah.
Share it how you like.
Awesome.
And we are super thrilled with what you've done for us. So thank you.
Thank
Of
you.
course. And again, so sorry about all the technical difficulties
Oh.
at the beginning of this.
The people watching this on the video demand won't even
Hopefully
know it
next time
happened.
nothing like that happens.
We'll definitely have you back. We are Xander has said that we may be getting some preview cards ourselves. So I actually,
especially
cool.
problems his.
well, that's what I emailed Xander and said, hey, if you haven't picked what we're previewing yet, we'd love to preview some cards that had Kyle's artwork on it, because then we could have you back
Yeah.
and talk about the art
Mhm.
when we do our reveal show. Just an idea. We'll see if they're pretty regulated in how they do
Yeah,
their reveals,
yeah.
and as you know, they're
Probably already
super
set in
strict
stone,
about
yeah.
what is revealed when and who gets to have a reveal.
Mhm.
I mean,
Right.
it's we're just happy to hopefully get one.
Yeah, I know, right now.
We don't want to rock the
exactly.
boat. So it would be fun to have another conversation with you like this with future cards that come out from you, for sure.
Absolutely. Yep,
Yeah.
Stay tuned. There's still 7 on the way from me in set 4 that will probably be released in the next couple of weeks, leading up to the set 4 release in March 14th, I believe is the date.
Yeah. And you've said you've already done some set 5, 6, and 7.
Now you're working on 8?
Yeah, I actually just wrapped up set 8. And then the next set I'm doing is set 9, of course, which all the last 3 sets I've done won't be released until 2026, unfortunately. So it's still going to be a bit of a wait.
It's good.
It's
But,
It's good for the
you know,
community.
I like, build up anticipation. But I do like how Fantasy Flight has really planned ahead far in advance with these sets. That way they can really take the time to work with the artists to make them, the best they can be.
Man, you were so breaking news. Art for 2020. What year did you say? 2020.
2026.
226. So art for next year is already
Yeah.
being worked on in May. That makes us all happy.
And already done, yeah.
Done. Wow.
And then, I imagine with a title like Star Wars Unlimited, that means it's, unlimited. Hopefully it will be ongoing for the next 3, 4, 5 years at
Fingers
least.
We love the game,
Yes.
so.
May the
Fingers
force
crossed
be
for
with
that.
us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, thanks for taking so much time with us
Man,
today. Out of
You're
your
incredible.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate it. Had a good time showing all the art and revealing the playmat.
Yeah.
Well, we will absolutely have this up as a video on demand, and you're welcome to send people who wants to look at this interview our way to watch the video, because you did a great job today explaining,
Of course.
Yeah.
explaining your passion.
Yeah, if you could just send me the link.
We'll
If
have
you could
to
just send me
do
the
it.
link, that'd be great, and then I can share it.
Perfect.
Will do.
And I mean, be honest, it doesn't really feel like working when you love what you're doing, right?
That's true.
Yep, that's exactly right. And I've been fortunate enough to turn what I love to do into my career, my full-time career, which was not easy by any means, given, like I said at the beginning, I didn't go to an art college or have any formal training or education. Most of it was just self-taught, me just believing in something that, maybe no one else believed in. I didn't even believe a lot of the time, early on in my career, when I started out. But, you have to see that light at the end of the tunnel when things get hard and, you feel the pressure of life just coming down on you. But, if you've seen on my social media pages, my motto is keep persevering. And not only is it my initials, Kyle Petchock, KP, but it represents my journey and, how someone an ordinary someone like me can make it happen without what one might assume that you would need to make it happen. Like, formal education, all the support or connections in the world. Like, I started with none of that, and along the way you build up that community. People support you, they see what you're doing, and they believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself first.
Well,
to
it's
make it
paid
happen.
off.
It has
Your
paid off.
perseverance has paid off, Kyle. Your art
Thanks.
is fantastic, and we
And you're a
couldn't be
big
more
I
part of
appreciate
the
it. Thank you.
community.
Yeah. So thanks again for being here
We
today,
love it.
Kyle. Everybody go check
Thank
out
you.
his channels. We'll have the links up,
Yep.
and we will talk again soon.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks so
Kyle.
much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll chat soon.
Yep.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Kyle.
Yep.
Take care.
Woo!
Bye.
Wow, what a fantastic interview, right?
I love it.
Golly, that's one of the best
It's
things you've
awesome.
done on the YouTube channel.
I know that
For
playmat is unbelievable.
The playmat is
A lot of
spectacular.
it's art, but that playmat
Yeah.
was crazy.
Man, we have God, we have still a lot to do on the
You
show.
want to show
today.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you gotta
You gotta
turn
turn
off
off
the-
the phone ring.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Just exit. Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, chat. What'd y'all think?
I think everybody
was
we had
dope.
some good feedback. I think everybody
Well
loved it.
done.
Yeah.
Hold on.
The
Obviously,
playmats are in
cut off the
production
first
as we
30 minutes,
speak.
obviously.
Yeah, we'll
So-
definitely won't upload the first 30 minutes. We couldn't get the
Yeah,
Discord
we got
working.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got the playmats in production, and it's exciting.
Yeah, look at that playmat.
I know.
So spectacular.
Yeah. Bubba Stonks, we agree. We need a Jango showcase signed by him.
That's Hunter.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's go. We also have other guests today too. I don't know if you can
Yes.
stick around this long, but so we had the fun privilege of getting to play at the Mobile PQ this weekend.
That's right.
Some of y'all may have heard about that. Let's see, is Wes here? I think he's muted. There he is.
Yo.
Wes, SeaRaptor
How's it
himself.
going?
Oh, I don't know if you caught any of that interview we just did, but we just had the best
I-
time.
Listen to the whole thing. It was fabulous.
Oh, awesome.
Did you get a chance to see the art yet? I know you said you're probably on audio only today.
Yeah, no, I was checking it out. I've got the YouTube stream up on a different, so as you guys were doing stuff, I could see what was going on. So yeah, it looks really good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, we want to thank you for coming to Mobile, Alabama this weekend, all the way from Dallas, Texas, right?
Houston.
Houston, Texas. And you were you streamed the planetary qualifier in
Yeah.
Mobile.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for doing
Yep.
that.
You're welcome. I mean, that was just. I was actually more frustrated that I couldn't get one last October because there were so few out there available. That was the plan, was to start doing it then. But man, the only one in Dallas, the garbage roller guys zoomed in and snatched that one up. And then the only other option I had that was in driving distance was in Memphis. And those guys ended up deciding that they would rather give the space over to players than set aside space for me to bring in my stuff. So that's fine. It's their venue, their event.
Sure.
But the Gamers and Geeks guys were super easy to work with, super awesome, especially for somebody just emailing them out of the blue to say, hey, can I bring a bunch of gear to your place and put it on camera?
Right.
Yeah. So what was it like streaming Saturday? Did you have a good day? Did you enjoy it?
I had a blast. I doing events like that is a ton of fun for me. I've been streaming competitive PC tournaments for 7 or 8 years now, and taking that into like the real world and getting back to kind of my roots in the TCG, CCG world and streaming that is a lot of fun. You know, because half the fun of those kinds of events is the community, the in between rounds, the talking to people, the meeting people, the trading war stories, swapping tales about plays you made, and then then I get turn and go back on camera and showcase somebody else's innovative deck and talk about the game some more. So I mean, it's not. It doesn't feel like work. At the end of it was a 10-hour stream, 10-hour day, and at the end of it, I still had to do 2 hours of teardown, and even then, I was still like, wow, I could have kept going, So
No,
it was
you were
nice.
Fantastic, and your setup was top notch. It was unbelievable, and the
It
production, like
It
we've
inspired
been.
us.
Yeah, you definitely inspired
We're
us.
gonna have to raise
like,
our game.
Right? Yeah, exactly. For the ones
Well-
that you can't make it to, and that we happen to get to do. So,
Yeah.
but you, your setup, your production quality was fantastic.
I appreciate
I don't know how
that.
you were
That's
able to
that's
manage all that by yourself.
it was a challenge. But I mean, designing the setup has always been kind of the goal of, okay, I need to be able to take this on the road. It needs to be portable, those kinds of things. Some pieces of equipment I have it's what I have, so I got to make do. But as I've moved in this direction with the gear that I have, I'm keeping an eye on that sort of thing. And it makes me really happy to hear you say that, to basically say, hey, we're looking at how to up our game, because for me, that's kind of one of my things, right? I look around at what we're all doing for live streaming of tournament coverage, and I'm like, you know what? I think we can all do it better. Let's find ways to do it better. And it's not a competition. You meet people in the streaming space that they're super competitive. I've never been that guy. When I started streaming
tournaments in PC gaming, it was just like nobody was doing this well, and so I was like, I'm going to come and try it. And now, years later, I've gotten the opportunity to travel to different places to call competitive events for World of Warships, and it's been a lot of fun. But it's more about just challenging everybody else to like, hey, if I can do it, so can you.
Yeah, you do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, great job. And then you got to enjoy the tournament from a special perspective as a caster.
Oh, yeah.
It's to watch it. One of our friends,
That's the fun part.
Yeah, DJ Death Star jumped in and casted the top cut with you. Well, was that fun having a partner in crime, a little sidekick for the top cut?
It's 100%. It's way more fun to cast with somebody else. He and I were talking about this. Me going solo for the Swiss rounds is actually not preferable, right? But it was what I had. All the folks that I would normally have, that I did invite to come work the event with me out of Houston were unavailable to travel quite that far and do the event, which was unfortunate. But him coming in and at least working with Top Cut with me was fabulous. It's so much more fun, especially when you get somebody with his energy and knowledge of the players and knowledge of the game. It really, really, in my mind, it just made the whole experience even better at the end of the day.
Yeah, he definitely had a lot of the backstories he could tell during the
which was very cool.
We've watched back a lot of your coverage, and for anyone who wants to see your coverage, here's your YouTube channel. It's SeaRaptor.
Yeah.
I noticed that you have the bulk videos uploaded, but you're also started to edit and do some uploads of individual rounds. Tell us about that as we wrap up.
Yeah, so like I was talking about with you guys, right? YouTube makes it almost impossible to go back and dice things up. But one of the things that I've done for years when I cover big tournaments, you'll have a 6, 8, 10-hour stream, but people who don't necessarily want to go comb through the VOD, they only want to see one round. I want to see my buddy in the match that he played. So I have habitually for years, all the coverage I provide, I go back and I dice out, and Twitch makes this real easy, blessedly. I'll just cut out the individual, 20 minutes or an hour, or whatever it is, of that match and post it as a separate YouTube video and just log that. Because YouTube is kind of forever. Whereas Twitch will eventually delete the VODs, YouTube won't delete the VODs, but then searching through them is a hassle. So it's better this way for everybody. So Frank, your matches, your first match on stream with Eric went up this morning, and then all of the top cut will release over the course of the day tomorrow. And so by the end of the day, Wednesday, all the coverage, individual matches will be available on the channel.
Well, on behalf of all the players and everybody participating, and really the SWU audience as a connoisseur of high-quality production, we just all want to thank you for coming and putting the work in and making our event better and giving us such great SWU content to consume.
And being such a great guy to work with, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're phenomenal.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm hoping to get to more. I'm going to be in Austin, Texas, covering the planetary qualifier there at Dragon's Lair on the 15th of February. That's 2 Saturdays from now, and then I'm going to attempt. This is the plan: a double feature that weekend. So Austin on Saturday, do the tournament, pack up that night, drive home, and that Sunday be here at my local store at Dragon's Lair in Houston to cover the store showdown on the very, very next day. So fingers crossed that I can pull that off.
That's awesome. We'd love that.
Well, Wes, again,
That's gonna be
thank
a lot of
you. We're
work.
looking forward to watching your content and your creations. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks for having me, and congrats again on your win, Frank. And I look forward to following you guys and enjoying your content as well. So y'all take care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know this is we had 4 we'll do a recap of the Mobile PQ. I know Eric's with us, and we can talk about.
Heyo.
Yep. So we had 4 of us Bothans who came down to turned out to be a 59-person tournament with a few no-shows too. But we had a crazy top 8, right?
Yeah.
Look at that top 8. It's awesome.
Yes, it was fantastic.
The deck that's gotten the most kind of discussion from our Mobile PQ is actually Eric's ECL Han 2 deck.
Yep.
Eric, tell us about your background with that deck. In the picture, Eric's the white sweatshirt holding up the Han 2 card in this photo.
Had to represent.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you did, Eric. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about your deck, dude. Congratulations on your top 4 finish at the PQ.
Thank you, Frank. Courtney, you guys are just an inspiration for Star Wars content creation. And so I had picked this deck up in set 2, took it to a 1K win while I was in Massachusetts. Was great. So had a lot of play with the deck already, with just being able to play into matchups. Obviously, into a Boba meta, I was able to find success. So that felt good to help in all of this. But then going into this set, Boba's gone, Tarkin Towns are heavy, so it becomes like, oh, do you play a deck that already puts basically a target on all of your units that Tarkin Town can just blow up? Maybe not. So I was in and out of playing this deck, but switched to it because of it has a very strong Han Cunning matchup, Han 1 Cunning matchup, and that deck being as prominent as it was felt great. So essentially, what you do, you cheat stuff out and you bait out Tarkin Towns when you play into them. So give them Fighters for Freedom or a cheated out Clone Deserter, which they're going to take that card draw, and you're like, fine, now my ECL target gets to survive and you have to answer it without a free action from your base, or things like that started to become the big play line of, if I can get you to burn your ECL early, I can win the later turns, and with leveraging timelies and ECL in a lot of ways. And another standout card was being able to play the card Heavy, which
that's a big innovation. That was real impressive to see you find that, dude. Congratulations on
card is good.
Heavy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it took out your Darksabered Sabine with an Adelphi, which is like, it climbs to crazy numbers. It can, if you play it down where it's a 4/2, it trades with Sabine Leader, Tech, DJ, other 5 toughness stuff, because it takes it out and it doesn't need coordinate to do so. So it becomes really good. So that's a big part of it. We can run the triple Bright Hope in the main to improve the Jango matchup, and the plays with that are amazing, because being able to cheat out, like pick up an R2 and then play it again off of Han's action, means you not only get to draw a card, but you get to see another card, so you're filtering your draws. I was talking with Kevin Unra, the Han 1 player I played in the top 8 local to Pensacola. He's amazing. R2D2 is one of the best cards in the deck. It's a 1/2 that filters, and you play it for free. You're not using resources, and you're able to really get through your deck, where other decks are playing it as a 1/4 for 1, but then they can't follow up with other plays. So games where I went 2-drop R2 definitely felt very much in my favor. So definitely, if you do pick up the deck, look for that play line. It is incredibly strong.
So do you make content? Because did you put a video out already about your deck tech?
Yeah. Aroc Oakley. It's I put it in the Bothan community channel. And
chat now, and we'll make sure
amazing.
to add it to the comments for people to come find your channel.
It'd be great.
So we have a very active thread inside our private Discord just talking about you and your deck, because it's so impressive what you were able to do with it. It's a kind of deck that, to me, not having the vision you have, I didn't see at first. Why would you ever play this into a Tarkin Town meta? After you watching your video, after playing you, and you kicking my butt so much at the PQ, and reflecting on it, I've realized, oh no, I'm very wrong. This deck has got a lot of tools to be fantastic in this meta, but it needs an amazing pilot though.
Yeah.
So don't try to play this deck
the reps
if you're not as good as Eric.
the reps count, and you're gonna find games like, if you watch our first match of the semifinals, like there are games where you might get blown out. And that's just how this game works when you're playing into aggro decks. Like, if my best draws blow other people out too, just as the same thing as a Sabine does, or a Kylo does, or a Jango does. And that's just kind of something you have to take as a part of the game. But you're able to push damage in a lot of different ways. And it's been talked about a lot on the KTOD Discord and other Discords about this deck, is that people were like, you got to play 4 cause I believe in. You got to play these cards, and like Sundari Peacekeepers. And it's like, there are reasons to not play those cards. Because of Han's ability leveraging to play more units. Why would you play events when you want to be playing more units, and let the units be the damage, and 4 cause then that has less value? And I felt like every time I sideboarded for a cause, the hits went down with like disabling Fang Fighters or Choose Sides. So I didn't want to have a card like that, even though it helps filter your draws. And then on top of that, Sundari Peacekeeper is one that it trades so poorly when it's on the defense, and that I didn't want to have bad trades. So I want, the only bad trades that I feel like are in the deck are R2, Clone Deserter, but those are cheated out as early ones. A-Wing, but you need A-Wing in space because it wins games, and Sabine. But Sabine is just too good of a unit to be playing. So looking at it as that way is like, that's why I don't want to play a Sundari Peacekeeper, because if a Forlom ambushes into it and pings it and dies, it's really difficult to clean up that Forlom and sets up Zuckuss plays. So, and that's like kind of the thought processing play lines that people have asked a lot of questions. And to anybody who's interested, please hit me up on Discord, Aroc Oakley, hit me up through my channels. I would love to talk SWU and talk through this deck and my thoughts more in detail if my video doesn't cover it. I would love to do more and more in this game, and that's I'd love to share what I have, because I feel like the better the community is and the more decks we have to look at, and decks don't get written off too, so it's just cool. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, Courtney's linked your YouTube channel.
Yep, and I'll
So
put it
please,
in
guys,
Thank you,
go
Courtney.
like and
I'll put it in the
subscribe
description too.
and
after this.
follow along what Eric is doing. It's great stuff. And we will definitely be catching up with you more later, Eric. Thanks for stopping by, and congrats.
Thanks for
again on
having
the
me.
top 4. For anyone, I don't
Appreciate
want there
ya.
to be any confusion, y'all. Eric and I played 6 games in our 2
Yeah.
matches. We were 3-3.
3-3, dude.
I
Tight
might-
games.
I might have walked out with the champions mat
It
in the
was-
day 2 bye, but it wasn't because I vanquished Eric. I mean,
Yeah.
Eric and I were toe to toe.
Totally.
We're gonna need a rematch, I think, in the future where you can win your.
I'd like
PCs.
that.
Yeah.
I'd like that. So here's something that I don't know if you noticed, but Bright Hope and Adelphi, if I hit it on that turn in game 3, I think could have done some insane work. Like
Yep. Oh, no,
Bright
no,
Hope would
you
have
know
bought
ways to
Bright Hope
win.
would have bought me a turn. Adelphi
Mhm.
would have killed your A-wing
Mhm.
while Adelphi survived, and I would have attacked your base
Yeah.
for 8. It was like you know how it is. It's
So
like we
close.
go back through it.
Yeah.
It's like, but I've told everybody, it's like I put myself in a position to have a chance, even when I was behind. I stayed in the game by making good decisions, and I am very thankful to have done that. But also, our games at Gaucher when I was playing CAD
Mhm.
taught me
Great
that.
those games
And-
there too.
yeah,
We
yeah.
both
So
made the top 8 there.
it feels good to continue to be able to put myself in positions, and that's, I guess, advice for anybody who's playing is just think about your play lines and give yourself a chance in every
Yeah.
game, and then you'll find your ways to navigate those wins more and more.
Your hard work's paid off.
Yeah, you're
There's a handful of elite
phenomenal
players
player.
I've come across in SWU, and our 3 matches now has definitely put you in that echelon of elite players. So congratulations. for your
Appreciate you,
hard
Frank.
work.
I'm cheesing really hard right now. That means a lot. Thank you.
No, it's going to be fantastic to see
You'll get your PQ win. It's only a matter of time.
or hopefully get you to
Thank you.
Galactics and see what you do at World
Yeah.
Championships. So,
That would be fun. That'd be
yeah,
fun.
man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for hanging
Thanks
out.
for hanging out.
I appreciate you guys a ton. Thank you, Frank and Courtney.
Yeah. So we'll talk. So someone else is in this picture that's in the top 8. Who is that? Here, I've got your top 8 card right here. Look, she made. You can't hold to the camera.
Made my PQ top
Look,
8.
Courtney
Thank
made a
you.
PQ top 8. Let's go.
And then I had to face my husband.
Let's leave the made for Hallmark movie garbage out of this. Let's not worry about
Then my
that.
husband kicks me out of the top 4.
That big. Top 8.
No,
Yeah,
he
you
kicked
would have
me
made
out
top.
of it,
Yeah, stopped you, prevented you from making top 4.
Yeah.
But our matches, if you go watch it in Wes's videos on
Yeah, on
SeaRaptor,
Yep.
it was not
fun.
a give me.
No,
I
I won game 2.
If you had drawn a couple more pumps in game 3,
If I'd
you
have
would
had a
have been
surprise
playing.
strike, I'd have had game 3.
You would have been playing Eric
Yeah.
in the top 4, not me. You just needed a couple of pumps at the end.
Yep.
But look, here's your deck. Talk about you get to do a deck tech, baby.
I
You're a
know.
top 8 player.
Let's go.
You're a top 8 and a PQ. Tell us
Right.
about.
I love that people are messaging me asking me for my deck.
I know
It's like,
you're SWU famous. You got
yay.
people want to play the winner's deck. So
That's right.
tell
we
us.
worked, we worked hard.
Give
on,
us the quick and dirty about your deck list.
I
for
must
the
have went
PQ.
through 7 different versions last week, trying to nail down what I wanted against the meta. So yeah, I mean, there's cards that of course you don't want to see against, like boss. Let's say, cartel turncoat's not always the best. You don't.
It
want
already has a
another
bounty on it.
that has a bounty on it, right?
Here, boss.
Um,
Here's a card with the bounty. Do your work for you.
Yeah, and as y'all were just talking about with the A-wing, it's not always good for on the defense, but an A-wing with the wing leader is phenomenal against almost any matchup, until it gets waylaid or something like that. But you have that with any deck, right? But
Right.
yeah, I mean, it came through with me. Kira came through really strong. That was one of my finals. I decided to take out 2 Sparks
yeah,
and put
mhm.
in the 2 Kiras because I found myself when I was playing a Spark really needing the units on the board, and
Yeah.
that's sort of what this deck is. Go wide, and try to race to the face by going wide.
Yeah.
But Kira still helped me do that by taking out, like for example, your Darksaber. you know.
No, you
things
definitely
like that.
blocked
You
the
still had a
Dark
General's
Saber.
Blade, but at least I got the Dark Saber.
But I had the blades, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go, blades. Who needs a
yeah.
Dark Saber when you got
Right.
blades? One game I had R2 with 2 blades,
That's
double
right.
fisted it. Let's go, R2 with 2 General's blades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my MVP card of the weekend was Spec Force came through for me clutch.
Yeah, I watched you beat some
and only
sweaty
two
nerds
of
with Spec
those,
Force
and
Soldier.
in opening hand, I would hold on to it, especially if I knew I was playing like a green hero deck. For example, even blue hero, a couple of those. So that card came through for me clutch. R2 is always fantastic. Chopper came through fantastic as, you know,
Chopper.
discarding stuff off the top of your deck.
Chopper's an overlooked card
I
in
mean,
SWU.
Valiant Assault Ship is fantastic, especially, you know, against the ramp decks. So,
Yeah.
and mine, you know, stops resourcing at 4 pretty much. I can go to 5 if I want to play an extra card, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's yeah. Those are kind of my
Yay!
favorite.
Congratulations
Loved it.
on your top 8.
Yay! I'm
And then
excited.
you got to be. Was this the first time you've been on a stream before as a player?
As a player, yes, it was.
You got to be
the
on
first
stream
time.
twice.
Yes, and my first one was, don't watch it. That was my only loss in Swiss, and it was brutal. It was against Bosk. Fantastic player, though. And then he ended up making it to top 8. Yay! And had to play our teammate Daniel in a Bosk mirror, pretty much.
You did? You played
No,
Daniel?
he did.
Oh, he
did.
played
Yeah,
Daniel.
yeah,
Yeah. And Daniel beat him.
Yep.
Right.
Fantastic guy, and both of them. And then, yeah, that was my brutal loss, my only loss in
So
Swiss.
you had, like, when I started in SWU, I played the Orlando 1K, but then I went to the Orlando 5K that was kind of famous in set 1.
Right.
And you had an experience at the PQ this weekend like I did at the Orlando 5K. Because in the Orlando 5K, I was only on stream twice all day.
Right.
So I won 8 matches and lost 2 matches. Guess which 2 matches were on the stream, right? I lost to the amazing Nick Nachi himself with his Palpatine deck in Swiss. That was on the stream. And then, of course, Guy knocked me out of the top 8, who went on to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
They couldn't stream any of my other matches where I looked great and I won.
Yep.
They only streamed my 2 losses. Is that what happened to you
That was
Saturday?
what happened to me. Yep, streamed my 1 loss in Swiss, but
And then you
that's okay.
streamed your
But then I streamed with you.
top 8 and you lost there too. So
I lost it, yeah.
same
that's
as my
true.
experience all the way
But-
back at the 5K.
But those were, at least, the first one was a little bit of a blowout, but at least against you, I felt pretty good in game 2 and game 3. And,
Oh yeah, you played great.
And I knew your deck backwards and forwards, so that was a little bit more like,
Neither one of us had
am I
any.
going to draw what I need? Are you going to draw what you need?
Before the top 8, would you like 3 minutes to look at your deck lists? We're like, you need to give me 3 minutes to write down her deck list. I mean, definitely a lot of. But congratulations!
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was fun playing you too. Actually,
You're the only second woman we know of that's made a top 8.
Yeah, I think Loopy's
wife has done it in set 2.
Yep. Fantastic.
And looking at the stats,
I'm sure there's some more somewhere.
I'm sure there are. We just don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But and then Eric
you.
is giving you props too. Oh, and Nick's remembering the 5K in chat.
That's
But
right.
and you also if the competitive SWU meta stats are right, there's only been 4 yellow Sabines that have made top cuts. So it's not like you're making top cut on a meta deck. I mean, yellow Sabine is not considered meta.
Right
And
now,
so that's really even more impressive, a run.
Yay. Just got to stick with it, right?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
What's your next PQ coming up?
We have one in Idaho
Okay.
that we're streaming, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So the PQ there.
Are you going to stick with Blonde Sabine?
No, I've been yesterday.
What are you doing? I've seen you playing my Green Sabine deck.
With your Green Sabine.
Are you thinking of
I don't know.
converting to the dark side of Green Sabine?
I did play Green Sabine some in set 2.
You did? Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was debating for the PQ whether to go to Green, because it did win a championship, a PQ champion.
What, this guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
And that is a
and
good
I can learn from a
segue
great
into the end of
pilot,
our
right?
stream today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yep. Where's my mat? Where'd my mat go? Let's
That's
go,
right.
baby.
You and Daniel.
Yes.
Y'all.
Daniel knocked me out 2 weeks ago, and then he was nice enough to let me win Saturday. So I will be on day 2 now. Woohoo! Look at that beautiful mat.
That's right.
The mat looks more beautiful when it's yours. I'll tell you that right now.
That's right. Sure. That's a lot of work you put into that. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Buddy. I
Thank
know you did.
you.
Absolutely.
So thanks, Nick. I'm gonna walk through my deck a little bit then.
Yeah,
Let's spend a
let's do
few
that.
minutes. I'll do something
Quick
longer
one.
on it since today's gone kind of long already. I'll do something longer on it, but here's my list. Blake Edmonds, who worked with me hard, he helped me a lot after he beat me so badly at the finals of SCG
SCG,
Atlanta.
mhm.
You can go back and see that on our blog.
And he's already won a PQ.
Yeah, he's a
with
PQ
Green
winner
Sabine.
himself. He won the Memphis PQ
Yep.
where I got knocked out. But he called my list unhinged. I mean, literally, that's why I've been calling it the unhinged ECL Sabine. And guys, I'll be honest, it's a little different. So my deck is kind of like what I consider like a 42 card core to it. But here's some of the things I think are kind of the bigger changes in the Green Sabine that other people aren't doing. The big one you might notice right away is I don't play red 3.
Right. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty like that's
For
pretty
Sabine
like
deck,
that's pretty unhinged.
Yeah,
not to run red 3.
Yeah.
But here are my thoughts on red 3.
But I get it. Yeah.
Well, before Boba was banned, red 3 in set 2 was really important that we could ECL in Poe and kill the Boba leader when he flipped. So we needed red 3 to give Poe the ability to do that.
Yep.
Without having to discard a card to do the 2. Or to just to hit into him and do it. But there's other reasons we needed red 3 kind of faded in set 3 because why? A lot of the units in that we need to kill in set 3 have 5 health. Like in the Han matchup, all the 3/5s in the mirror matchup. We need to be able to kill ground units with 5 health. Well, red 3 adding +1 to a Battlefield Marine or Sabine unit doesn't do it.
Right.
I mean, it's not helping us kill 5 health
You need
units.
a wing leader too.
No, wing
Or a
leader's
fleet
good.
lieutenant.
No, wing leader and
I
fleet
mean,
lieutenant does.
with the red 3. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's +2. We need
Yeah.
+2 to kill the 5 health units.
Right.
And then the other thing too is that one thing I've noticed playing a lot of Green Sabine is it's very susceptible to either they have initiative or they have ECL and they kill our A-wings and our red 3 in space with a unit that we don't get to kill going back.
Right.
Obviously, Green Sabine can do it. If they play an A-wing and we have a red 3 and they have initiative, they'll just kill our red 3 and it doesn't kill their A-wing.
Right.
So the blowout potential of having cards like red 3 is one of the reasons it caused me to take out the red 3. Obviously, the Falcons and Han come down and kill red 3 and then kill the Falcon. The 7th Fleet Defenders and things that the Jango decks are running.
Right.
So there is some good things to have red 3, like it helps you kill a Concord Dawn Interceptor with a wing.
Yeah.
But that's about the only niche scenario I could come up with why I needed to add raid 1 to my units. Yeah, so that's a big one. The other card that I've come a long way off of is For a Cause I Believe In. I don't believe in it anymore.
Not in this deck, right?
I'm not a For a Cause I Believe in believer. The times I need it, it's great into the control decks that I need to get that last few burn damage, so to speak, because there's not really a lot of ways to burn bases. But in the Green Sabine mirror, I took it out. The Jango mirror, I took it out. All the Han versions, I took it out. I mean, I was taking it out against all of these decks that are like 80% of the meta, and only putting it back in against blue decks to give me that reach to get past their healing. So finally, I was like, well, I just won't play it and see what happens. And then the other thing I noticed, and this was a change because I made the finals the week before at Duluth, where our teammate Stan beat me in the finals in a well-deserved win on his part. But the other thing I noticed too is that I just like the General's Blades more than I like the Darksabers.
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy, right?
Well,
I mean, am I unhinged?
No, I mean, it costs 1 less, and in our decks, when you're playing Green Sabine and, trying to get, the most out of your cards, then it makes sense. Because you can play that with an R2 on turn 4 or something, if you really need to get to like a surprise strike or something.
Well, for me, it's Rebel Assault.
Rebel Assault, right.
It came up.
Surprise
I
strike.
I can't tell you how many times it came up where on 4 resources, I wanted to put a blade on something and still play Rebel Assault that turn.
Yeah.
But with the Darksaber, you can't do that.
Right.
It also came up on 6 resources because on 6 resources I could blade and fleet lieutenant on 6 resources.
That's phenomenal.
And you'll see it if you watch back on finals with Daniel. I finished him off with a 9 damage attack from R2D2.
Right.
R2D2 doing 9 damage because he had a blade. With 6 resources, I put another blade on him, and then fleet lieutenanted him in for the 9 damage.
Yeah, and the extra point experience token on a Mandalorian with Darksabers, I would say 50% of the time doesn't even come into play.
Right, it doesn't have,
but
it's a win more.
It doesn't, and it's a win more. Like
it does feel like a win more. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, I like being able to, especially in the ECL Sabine mirror, first turn unit, put a general blade on it, first and second. Yeah. I just think that's the way to go, for sure. So Jason's asking if there's a replacement for Poe in the deck. Ooh, that's a tougher one.
Probably the only.
Zeb is really
a good one.
Zeb might be a good choice.
Yeah.
We tested Zeb.
He's pretty good.
If you need a budget version of Poe, I would look at Zeb or Ellis, for sure. Good suggestion, Courtney. Yeah. And so then the last thing is because with me
heavy. That's right.
Yeah, Eric's like play heavy.
Yeah.
So the last thing for me was the Jin Urso inclusion, 2 of.
Yeah.
The other 2 spots there, because you need enough 1-drops. Without Jin, you're at 12, so you need 2 more to go to 14. I know Buku, who's helped me so much the last few weeks since he joined our team. Buku is a big believer in 15 first turn plays. But I was like, I gotta be risky. I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna be the first place finisher at a large event without taking some risks.
I was gonna say, and it did bite you in the butt a couple of times without not having that first turn play. But then you slapped down a Sundari Peacekeeper on turn
against you.
Yeah. And you know, you went back any
one anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So. No, I mean, you get back any damage you missed. So.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could still do it with this deck. It's fantastic.
Right. I was able to overcome not having a first turn play.
Right.
So I went to 14 first turn plays, and so then the question is, which is the last 2? Because these, as you can see up here, R2, Battlefield Marine, A-Wing, Sabine unit, those 12 are absolutely locked in. It's which 2 do you go with? Rebel Pathfinder is a good choice. Even Alliance X-Wing could be a good choice if you're like in a heavy Jango meta.
Yeah.
But I went with Jin because I decided I was going to play some Fighters for Freedom. That's part of my 8 cards that I didn't include as a core.
Yeah.
And so I didn't need the Saboteur on Pathfinder. Yeah. And what's nice about Jin in the mirror is that their first turn Sabine, their first turn Battlefield Marine, if it attacks Jin, it dies also. So you don't have the blowout potential. As you can see, a lot of my deck building right now in this meta is avoiding getting blown out by them killing my first unit and their unit living and being on the board. I'm a big believer in pieces on the board. You need more chess pieces to beat them at chess than they have. Yep. So I'm constantly trying to create board states where my units might be injured, they might be wounded. It's a lot like what Eric's talking about doing with his Han 2 thing. Is he might have a A-Wing with 2 damage on it, but you know what? He's got 2 other units now. He's got 3 other units now. Like, get the units on the board, and you can then win with the damage.
Yeah, and that was sort of my thing too with against the Jangos. They can only tap one at a time, per round, and then the same thing with like Quinlan. You can play slightly under curve. You're okay. So. And
then there's even a cute picture. I think it's cute of my face somebody took when I was playing Daniel Mephisto in the finals. I have a board of just like 5 or 6 units on the board, and he has no units on the board. And even though we're 2 or 3 turns away from the game being over, game 2 I think it was, maybe it's game 1, but whatever it was, I already knew. Like, I knew for a while before the game. I had to sit there knowing I've just won a PQ. Yeah. And I still had to play out 2. There's like I was going through all the scenarios of what he could draw and how could he get a big OB. I was like, I have too many units. He doesn't have Super Laser Blast. Yeah. So like I knew I was going to win for at least 2 or 3 turns just from the board state. Yeah. And that's what you're trying to create with this deck build. So what do you do with the other 8 cards, just to wrap this up? Some of these are the picks. I think 2 Peacekeepers main is required. Some people like it enough you could take in this 3rd Peacekeeper. I really promise you guys, if you want to play for a cause, you don't need 3-4 causes. First off, we don't play for a cause until 5 or 6 resources, sometimes 7 and a blue. So you're going to get to draw your 6 cards from your opening hand, and you're going to get to draw 2 cards a turn for 4 or 5 turns. So you're going to get like 16 cards through your deck.
R2,
with R2 you're filtering, because I'm running 3 R2, so I'm filtering also. Yeah. So I need to get George to run the numbers for me. He's our math guru. Yeah. But if you get to turn 6, 5 or 6 turns, 6 or 7 resources, the chances of having for a cause, if you only have 2 in your deck, with R2 filtering especially, is still really good. And you only need it against the control decks where you need the reach. I mean, we're beating people with this deck. I mean, like Eric just explained it with his version. Like, he doesn't run it either. It's like if you have enough units hitting him in the face, you don't need for a cause. Right. You win with units. Yeah. Same idea with me. So basically, to build the deck, you take the 42 I showed you as kind of main, and then you work these 8 cards. What combination of these 8 do you want? There's a lot of ways to go from there. For example, like if you think you're in a heavy control meta and you definitely want to put 2 4 causes in your main deck, then put in the heroic sacks, put in the fighters for freedom to go against the saboteur sentinel stuff, and the bright hopes. You think, why would I want bright hope? Well, a lot of the control meta is blue boss, where you can pick up a unit and take off an upgrade. A lot of the control meta is weak in space already. So there's some control decks that if you put a bright hope down and then wing leader it and make it a 4/8, they have a hard time with that 4/8 in space hitting them over again.
At that point.
And it's, but I'm including it here more because if you're gonna run for a cause, let's go back and look. You want to get up your 4 cause numbers. So in my core deck, I only have the 2 dark sabers and the 3 generals blades. I'd never want to go to 6. I tried it with 6, 3, and 3. It's too many upgrades. 5's the right number, but if you bring in this top line combination, you only have 5 misses now for a cause. So that's a good way to build the deck. However, if you're worried that your meta is way more Jango, it's way more Quinlan, it's way more the mirror, you're gonna have a lot more ECL mirrors. I like this bottom line a lot, where instead of for a cause, you go to daring raids. You start main decking, you main deck the 3 peacekeepers, and you can even go with 2 bright hopes. But I guess what I'm kind of communicating is that after you kind of get those core 42 cards in, you take these 8 and you mix and match them the way you think you're going to see the meta is going to develop. The other idea, though, that I actually ended up going with is the toolbox approach. What's the toolbox approach, right? So what I decided to do is just take one of everything. Just put one of everything in for game 1. See what I need, and then in game 2, I can then mix and match it back to look like this. I can make it look like one of these lines in game 2 and 3, but in game 1, it's kind of like heart of the cards. Like, I may never draw the 1 for a cause I need. I may never
like that
draw.
Always.
But I'm gonna just give myself one of everything, and then let the heart. I'm gonna win with the 42 cards in my core. I need those 42 cards. I'm gonna win with these 42 cards. These 8 are just like, let's see what happens.
Right.
And then it actually worked out for me because what I did was I took one of each of these top 6. And then you see RodneyStubbs, that's Chris Schutz, and Daniel Mephisto. Then I added in one of each thing for what I knew was going to be there. I knew Chris was coming with his Red Ray. So instead of just having 1 Fighters for Freedom, I put a second one in because it's so good against village people. And some of that anti-healing stuff I got to get through, anti-aggro. And then, of course, Daniel and I played 2 matches at the PQ 2 weeks before at Mississippi. He beat me, my only loss in Swiss, and then he knocked me out of the top 8. I went 0-4 against him in games. It was ugly. He was playing Green Bosk. So, heart of the cards, I put 1 Disabling Fang Fighter in my main deck. Just for Daniel. All day I had it, just for Daniel. And if you watch our first game...
Daniel, that's gotta feel good, doesn't it?
in our first game of finals with the PQ Winter Championship on the line, I didn't have that 1 Disabling Fang Fighter in my hand. So I mulliganed, and there it was.
Ooh, you got lucky, baby.
You can go back and watch SeaRaptor's video of it, Heart of the Cards. I slapped down an R2, he slaps down the ramp bounty on it. I have initiative, didn't ping, didn't spend my second resource. I just took initiative, slapped down the 1 of Disabling Fang Fighter in my deck, and took off the bounty. And it was, I was on my way from there to winning.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's how we draw it up, baby.
That's right.
That's it. I mean, you gotta sometimes you just gotta let your deck win for you, right, Ian? I think that was Ian that was talking.
Oh yeah, nope, definitely gotta. You put the cards in your deck for a reason.
That's right.
Even if it's a one of. Because one thing I've noticed about one ofs, and again, this is where we need George to talk about the math. I think he had to go to work, but we draw 2 cards per turn. So we actually, like, if you come from other TCGs where you draw 1 card from turn, you see fewer cards in the same number of rounds. We see twice as many cards. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're going to draw more one-ofs in 5, 6, 7 rounds of a game than you do in other TCGs where people got the mentality of, oh, you can't play one-ofs because that's not good deck building.
Right.
So I like a toolbox approach.
We also have less cards in our deck than most, like 50.
That's right.
At least for Magic, right? Like Magic has 60 card decks.
Yeah. So I think I would encourage people, if you like my approach, to lean into this kind of toolbox approach where you you figure out what's your core 40, 42, 45 cards, and then for your sideboard, think about what 2 ofs you would want in your deck to go with it. And then just take, like I did, 1 of each, and then after game 1, pair those 2s up. Like so my sideboard ended up, if you look back here, it's a lot of like 1 ofs that go into the deck to kind of pair things off. So I like that approach a lot. But then the biggest advice I have, and I'm glad you're here, Ian, because you're the one that can talk about this as much as anybody, is it's the grind.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Y'all grind a lot.
Yeah. Tell us about the tournament grind, Ian.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just want to first shout out both you and Courtney for doing amazing this past weekend. Super proud of you both. Like, long time coming.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's just the grind. Like, these events, because they reward only the top player with the invite, it's just a numbers game. And I think one of the cool things, because FFG is letting invites pass down, we're gonna see a thing that happens towards the end of like the set 4 PQ season, and it's just because like the good players are always topping these events, right? Where you'll have a PQ where there might be 6, 7 people in the top 8 that already have an invite. You know, by the time like the week before Worlds or whatever, people, or the last PQ before Worlds, like. Which just means, like, eventually, you know, if you just keep grinding, keep going to these events, keep getting better as a player, honing your deck, honing your lines, like, you'll be able to get there, which is really cool.
No, it really is a numbers game, the grind. Like, I often, people have heard me compare it to poker or golf, where you see these pro players have to grind 5, 10, 15 tournaments to win one of them.
Even chess masters.
Yeah, well, chess is a little different. There's a lot less variance in chess. No. Chess is a lot less variance. We have games of variance like what we have. Like Eric, who just made the top 4 and made the top 8. He only played like 2 PQs this season. If he played 6 PQs like I did, he would have won 1 of 6. Like it's like you got to have a chance to grind out the opportunities. You know, Daniel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think like 5 or 6, if you're consistently doing better and better each time, or at least just being consistent with like going 5-2, like you're gonna push through one of those times, you know.
100%. I think that's the biggest missing piece. Now there are some, we'll call them special players like George and Stan, who go to 1 PQ and win 1 PQ. Congratulations, that's boys! Right. I wish it was that easy for the rest of us. Have to slog through 6 PQs, but that's your story too. Now, haven't you won 2 PQs now, Ian? Or am I making that up?
Yeah. So I did 4 in set 2. I went 5-2 in top 16 in 2 of them, and then in the other 2, I was top 4 in finals. And then this set, my first one, I played Han Yellow again, and I got into the top 4. There was some like really close games, and like it was, you know,
shenanigans with the judges there.
No, it wasn't really any of like the judges' fault or whatever. It was more so like one of the players sat down in the wrong spot, and we had to like redo our games, even though I was up a game. Yeah. But in the long run, it's whatever, because I ended up winning my next PQ. And then so then I got top 4 there. Ended up losing a mirror match, and I was like, I'm tired of these mirror matches. So it was actually a good thing in the long run, because I found a deck that I was more comfortable playing into the meta, which was Han Green. And then, you know, the next week I played at the Maryland PQ, ended up winning that. And then I played in the New York City PQ the following week, and then won that with the same deck. A couple cards changed. So on a bit of a heater, but like you said, you know, I wasn't getting that win until that 6th PQ.
Yeah,
so
you and me both.
Yeah.
I did in set 3. I did top 8. Daniel knocked me out. Then I went to Duluth and lost in the finals to our teammate Stan, who deserved that win completely. And then finally, I sneaked past. I mean, like I said, I went 3-3 in games with Eric. It could have been Eric, and not me. We just switch our Swiss and our top cut game. I mean, it's just a grind. You just have to. You have to try so many times to have that one high roll where everything falls into place just right.